Please keep this a secret because there are 534 other members of Congress. And from time to time we interview a lot of them. But our all-time favorite is the one that represents Minnesota's 6th District, who is just the most amazing, brilliant, wonderful, common sense conservative the world has ever known. Our friend Michele Bachmann is back on the Common Sense Club, and he's got Hennen Show. Chairwoman of the Common Sense Club caucus in the United States House, who speaks for us Tea Party types every single day. God bless you, my friend. How are you?
Oh, my. I've never had an introduction like that before. My goodness, that's amazing. I want you to know one of the things that I am the most proud of is to be called the co-chair of the Common Sense Caucus on the Scott Hennen Show. There's nothing that could make me happier, and thank you for that honor.
Yeah, well, we mean it. You're the real deal, and we appreciate you so much, and appreciate everything you're fighting for. And, you know, you were against Obamacare when it was kind of a lonely caucus. Now everybody gets it. And, I mean, the Supreme Court, obviously, is the talk of the country right now. Repeal efforts, every state trying to do this. Take a quick little victory lap on this effort, because this wasn't easy, trying to get people to realize how bad this was it?
It is wonderful to be at the point that we're at right now. When you consider the bill is over 2 years old and 72% of the American people, according to ABC and the Washington Post, 72% believe that Obamacare is unconstitutional and want the Supreme Court to strike it down. That's an amazing number. In fact, it was so bad, the President of the United States had to leave the country and go to South Korea, and there wasn't a peep that came out of the White House on the second anniversary of Obamacare. The signature piece of legislation from this president, and this is the issue that our nominee can easily fight the president on all the way to the ballot box in November and go to victory.
So, by the way, do you buy the tea leaves that everybody's reading, the sort of conventional wisdom that, given the questioning from the Supreme Court, this thing's on its way to being deemed unconstitutional? Are you confident?
Well, of course, I hope so. I'm not confident. And the reason why I'm nervous is because so much depends on this decision. This is the hinge of history. This will decide, Scott, if we remain a constitutional republic with limited government, or if government has virtually limitless power. That's how momentous this decision is. I am fully convinced that 4 of the judges, Ginsburg, Sotomayor, Breyer, and Kagan, who has no business deciding she was involved in the writing of Obamacare, she should have recused herself. I am absolutely convinced those 4 will uphold Obamacare. And so the question is, which way is Anthony Kennedy going to go? His questioning was all very good. I was in the chamber listening to the oral argument, but the last thing Kennedy said is, well, you know, maybe health care is different. Health care is not different from any other activity. And so I'm a little nervous about that. And the word that I've been getting is that this coming Friday, these justices are going to lock themselves in a room and they're going to make their vote. They're going to decide which way they're going to go, and then the Chief Justice will assign the opinions, and the rest of us will hear what their decision is in the end of June. So there's a lot riding on this Friday, and for those who are praying people, be praying between now and Friday. A lot is going to ride on this decision.
And it's something you ought to pray about, and by the way, to reserve your right to pray and worship the way you choose in this country, because religious liberty is under assault as part of this as well. And by the way,
right.
is that something that too would be thrown out, or are you fighting that on a separate front?
On religious liberty?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, that is a part of the health care bill, because the one thing that we saw in a 3D example from Obamacare is that quite literally we aren't just electing a president anymore, we're electing a health care dictator.
No, it's terrible. I can't even believe it.
Force us to deny our sincerely held religious beliefs and force us to go in conformity with the president's beliefs. It's sick.
What I didn't understand is whether that was an HHS dictate that's there, whether or not the Supreme Court overturns this or it's repealed or whatever. I mean, is it an HHS dictate that you have to fight, or is it something that's part of this decision in the Supreme Court?
No, it will be a part of the decision in the Supreme Court, because if Obamacare fails in total, there's so much at stake here. Either the individual mandate itself could be declared unconstitutional and the other dictates could stand, or the whole thing could go down. If the whole thing goes down, then that does take away power that the HHS secretary has today. That would be a really good thing. So that's why my goal would be to see the whole thing fall. That's my prayer, that the entire thing goes. If it doesn't, then the amount of power that's been given to the Health and Human Services Secretary is beyond anything that any government official has ever had before.
Well, we're going to join you in that prayer for sure. A couple of the quick things here. Who's our nominee going to be?
I don't know. The people are going to have to make the decision. I'm going to unite behind whoever it is, but our nominee needs to make this advocacy against Obamacare the centerpiece of their campaign. It's so wildly unpopular. The president cannot defend the bill. He refuses to defend the bill. It is a gift on a platinum platter for our nominee.
You're so right. Now, that's one of the arguments that Rick Santorum makes in saying that Mitt Romney's going to have a tougher time because what he implemented in Massachusetts is too close to this. And you obviously talked a lot about this in your presidential run yourself. You agree with Rick Santorum that Mitt Romney will have a tougher time making it the centerpiece of his campaign if he's the nominee?
Well, whoever the nominee is, and we don't know yet, whoever the nominee is, this does need to be the central point. And it isn't tough to make this argument. It's pretty simple to make this argument. And I hope that they do, and I'm going to encourage our nominee to.
Did Marco Rubio err in picking a horse too early rather than being a unifier like you're suggesting ought to be done when we do have a nominee?
Oh, I'm not going to comment. That's up to Senator Rubio. I actually talked to him this morning at breakfast. I was over at the Senate side, and I talked to Senator Rubio this morning, and I agree. I want to be a unifier. The people haven't decided. We have the Wisconsin primary coming up this week, and the people will make their decision. We do need to unify fairly soon because President Obama and his policies have to be what's on the witness stand, and they will fail if we do a smart case prosecuting this election, but we've got to unify, and the people still have a chance to weigh in.
Can we wait till Tampa to unify?
No, we can't wait until Tampa. We need to unify now. It's too late. It's August. That's my opinion. Other people may disagree with that, but I really do believe we have got to unify. This will be an extremely expensive election, and people vote based on trends, and we've got to turn the electorate and put President Obama's policies on trial quickly rather than frying each other.
Only have 30 seconds left, but hasn't Mitt Romney got better through this process? Look at the tax plan he put out in Michigan when he thought he might lose Michigan. Why wouldn't he continue to get better, even if he ultimately is the nominee, by letting this go a little bit longer?
That's what people are going to have to look at when they compare the various candidates going forward. But again, it's Obama, Obama, Obama. He's been an abject failure for this country, but we can do better. That's the good news. We can be the number one economic and military superpower of the world. That's what I want. So let's focus on that.
Good job on defeating that Obama budget. Good luck on passing the Ryan one, and keep fighting, my friend. You're awesome.
Will do. We love you. We love your audience. God bless you, Scott Hennen. We'll talk
Same
to you later.
You. All right, talk to you soon. Congresswoman Michele Bachmann, is there a better fighter? Titanium spine. She's got one. More coming up.